There has always been some debate on whether or not monster movies tend to give the human characters the shaft in terms of development, background, dialogue, pretty much anything that would get you engaged with that character and interested to see how their plot ends in the film. But I think the better question to ask is, do you care about the human characters to begin with? Picture yourself in the movie theater. You're going to go see Godzilla versus Kong, which was the latest MonsterVerse film. Now, when you're sitting there in that 2.5 hour movie, watching Godzilla and King Kong duke it out, are you sitting there thinking, oh man, that human character was so cool. I can't wait to see what else they do? Or are you thinking, damn, Kong just chucked an axe into Godzilla's chest? I would guess it's the latter. And in my personal opinion, I think the human characters aren't as important as the monsters in a monster film. That may be controversial. I just think that humans are basically there for exposition and to be fodder. You do have some human connection so that you can relate to the fear of the characters, but I still think the monsters are the focus and that it doesn't really matter if the humans have that much depth to their character. They are just there to be the audience to the destruction, just like we are. But we are already watching, and something as simple as seeing a giant dinosaur fight a giant gorilla doesn't require a lot of emotional depth from the perspective character in order for the audience to understand what's going on. Now, in this article by Screen Rant, Matt Shackman, who directed Monarch Legacy of the Monsters, which is currently running, basically defends the criticism of the lack of human character development in their films, where some of the criticism says that while the franchise has never been short on scale and spectacle, it's often accused of lacking when it comes to its characters, something that the executive producer and director doesn't necessarily agree with. And he responds to that with, I don't share that opinion about the MonsterVerse movies. I mean, if you just think about Kong Skull Island, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, John C. Reilly, Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, there are incredible characters in that movie, and they're very memorable and their stories are unique. One of the things that was most important for us was that when we were doing monster action, it was from the point of view of the humans, that we were telling the story from the ground level. We were not flying high in the sky at Godzilla level, which is where I think a lot of the movies exist. We were more interested in how is this monster event affecting the humans that we love and care about. Now with Skull Island, I think it is a little bit different because King Kong was always a kind of a Beauty and the Beast situation. Because Kong is an ape, he's very humanoid, and he's about the closest to a human that any monster could get. And so there was a bit of that, monster from the land that time forgot, falling in love with the innocent damsel. But with Godzilla films, it's more or less, how are these people going to deal with the giant dinosaur with radioactive breath who's destroying the city? Or how are they going to deal with Godzilla and the other monsters, possibly fighting together, possibly fighting each other? And with Monarch Legacy of the Monsters, I'm actually enjoying the human story, but I'm enjoying it because I was set up with the expectation that the series was going to focus on Monarch, the organization that studies the Titans in the Monsterverse, rather than being a movie focused on Kong or Godzilla. So you have to set the expectations. If you set it up as a giant monster fest, then that's exactly what it should be. The human characters are just there to explain to us what the monsters are, where they came from, and to basically become fodder. In Monarch Legacy of the Monsters, you can actually go in depth with the characters, which I think they have, and I'm actually interested in the development of these characters throughout the series, and I think they do a good job of making you care, of making you interested in seeing where these characters go and in learning about the past of the characters. But that doesn't need to be the case for every monster film. I think generally you go there for the monsters. You go there for the terror, for the destruction. You go there to see the fear in the humans, but it's not really, they're not the focus of the story. Unless you're talking about a Dracula or a Wolfman or a Frankenstein, where those creatures are human or part human. And so there's that dichotomy of beast and man, and you're dealing with all that. And so that can be a more human, more personal story. But when you're talking about giant dinosaurs and apes, it's just a monster film. It's a giant ape punching a giant dinosaur. It doesn't need to be deeper than that. And if they want to do side projects like Monarch Legacy of the Monsters, that's great. Again, I'm really enjoying it. But at the same time, this weekend, they're releasing Godzilla Minus One, the Japanese Godzilla film, the same day they're releasing episode 4 of Monarch Legacy of the Monsters. And I'm betting that I'm going to enjoy Godzilla minus one more, even though, again, I am interested in Monarch Legacy of the Monsters. The characters are actually interesting, but generally, I enjoy going to a monster film to see the monster destroy stuff. But I'm really interested to hear your guys' opinions on this subject because I've seen the debate a number of times, and I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think it really depends on the expectation that the studio sets up with the film. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you would hit that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. Thanks for watching.